why guys are playing games in the first place. Why do they do this? Why can't they just be honest, transparent, progressive forward to a relationship? Let's move a little over here, ladies. So here's what I tell women all the time. Well, it's because they're like a kid and you're a sandwich, a nice peanut butter and jelly with the crust, okay? And they're really craving a sandwich right now. They're really craving a peanut butter jelly, but they don't want the crust. So what they do is cut the crust off and keep the sandwich. Men do not throw away an entire sandwich just because it has crust on it. Now, what the hell do I mean with this? Men want the assets you offer, but not the complete package. The problem with this is you're not okay with that. You're not okay with a man who just wants to tippy-toe around you, tippy-toe for the benefits, but not fully commit. Now, men know that you know this. So that's where games come in. I always tell I could have just said this, I guess. I always tell my clients that when a man starts playing games, it's because he wants something from you, but not a relationship. So what this looks like is the following. If you're talking to a guy and he wants specific things from you, assets, whether it's sex, validation, filling a void, a rebound, maybe he likes your personality, maybe he just likes you but not enough for a relationship, maybe he's just emotionally unavailable but he still wants to get to know you, thinks you're cool and you're awesome, and all these amazing things. You know what it is, the things that usually get you in the situation you're in. He's going to have to play this game because what he needs to do is convince you, a woman who does not want to pull this bullshit, who does not want to deal with this because it's drama, it's draining, it's all these things. He has to convince you of his narrative. And his narrative is, well, I don't want to throw you completely away. It sounds horrible saying like that, but I was going to use the analogy of the crusted sandwich. I don't want to toss the sandwich aside because I'm still hungry, I still want a sandwich, but I don't want to eat one with a crust, right? So what I'm getting at is a man wants to keep you right here in the middle so he doesn't have to take any risk. The risk of cutting you off and regretting it. The risk of a relationship and regretting it because he's not ready. So if he could keep you here hopeful, meaning, I always say a confused woman or a hopeful woman is a confused woman or a confused woman is a hopeful woman, whatever, right? You get it. It goes hand in hand. Those type of women want to stick around. They're curious. They're trying to figure out what's going on. But if a man is transparent with you and says, no, I just want to hit it. I don't want a relationship. I just want to hit it and, it is what it is. No title, just see where it goes. You, as a woman who is risk avoidant, right? We're trying to avoid this bullshit to begin with. We'll be like, no, I'm not going to do it. Why the fuck would I do that? That's stupid. Why would I do that? Okay. A man knows this. So he's not going to be transparent with you. He's going to play the game. But the game is so complex because there's so many layers to it. Meaning like there's some guys out there who are just going to lie to you saying, sure, I want a relationship. Right. And then there's going to be guys out there who are justifying what they're saying, which is, I'm looking for a relationship with the right girl. And he could be telling you the truth, but you're not the right girl. Or I'm not really looking for a relationship, but I'm open to it if the right person comes along. Or I'm not closed off to it. It depends on the connection. All that could be true. But ladies, when a man says that to you, he doesn't want a relationship. I just made a video about it, whether it was my last video or the video before, where you have to understand risk is on both sides. You're trying to avoid risk and he's trying to avoid risk. Risk of losing you or fully committing to the wrong person. A man who doesn't want to risk losing you and wants the assets would never say that. He would never, unless he's trying to save his own ass and feels it's safe to say that you're not going anywhere or that you're going to fall for it. But if a man knows you're not going to fall for it, and he really wants the assets, he's never going to say, I'm not really looking for one, but if the right girl comes along, sure, I'll entertain it. I'll see what happens. Or let's go with the flow. He knows that throws a red light, right? A red light goes off in your brain and you're like, oh, hell no. That handsome dating coach, Elliot Scott, told me, who I watch all his videos and I subscribe to, which you should, he tells me to avoid that. But that's why I'm telling you it, right? Like guys know kind of how to weave and get you right here where you're hopeful enough that you're curious, that you're looking for certainty, that you're not just going to go off. And he's hoping that he can convince you long enough to get the benefits. Now, the problem with this is the long enough thing, which is, well, to convince you, we have to build context, meaning the things that layer over time, the things we do and say. So hooking up, being consistent, the frequency, the text, the future planning, talking, saying I'm exclusive, only talking to whatever, meeting friends and family, leaving shit over the house, staying over. All this builds context. And it gets to a point, ladies, where this guy's playing this game with you, but the game he's playing is starting to feel, because of the context, like a relationship, starting to look like a relationship. And then that's where you unfortunately get a guy who was unsure in the first place, right? He was unsure in the first place. He just wanted to entertain you, but he doesn't realize the bill he's racking up. There's a cost to it all, meaning, okay, I feel like I'm leading her on. I feel obligated to give her a relationship. I can tell she's very hopeful of a relationship. Maybe I'm a very good Picasso. I'm a very good painter. I painted this image of a relationship that I can't deliver. And that's where a man gets in his head, freaks out, overthinks, analyzes, whatever, and he pulls away. Now, if you want to avoid all this, I have a guide. I have 9 guides. Look, this many. 9 guides, absolutely free, ladies, 100% free. All you have to do is click the link below. In those guides, I talk about how to find a guy. I talk about filtering guys, what guys want, what guys commit to, how to build connection with men, how to do no contact if he's pulling this bullshit, how to text, all of it, all the guides, okay? Just the link, click the link down below and you get them for free. With that being said, ladies, that's why guys play games. That's why guys are pulling some BS. Don't fall for it, okay? I love you all. Take care and peace.